Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, depending on what time you're watching this. It is April 2nd, 2023, Sunday. It is 2:59 in the morning. Okay, this is part 8 of chapter 1, The Cottage. A houseman appeared from the kitchen with 2 glasses of iced tea on a silver tray. Livermore had disappeared. The young man hadn't even left the room when Abe looked over at Liz with a frown. He's got to fire the staff. I want to do it today. Liz saw the houseman glance back over his shoulder with a look of concern, and she smiled reassuringly at him. It was her job to keep everyone happy and pay what bills she could. Their salaries were always top on her list, but even those had to slide for a month or two at times. They were used to it, and she herself hadn't been paid in 6 months. She'd had a little trouble explaining that to her fiancé. She always caught up when Coop did a commercial or got a small part in a film. She could afford to be patient, unlike Coop. She had a nest egg socked away. She never had time to spend money, and she had lived frugally for years. Coop was always generous with her when he could. Maybe we can let them go slowly, Abe. This is going to be hard on them. He can't pay them, Liz. You know that. I'm going to advise him to sell the cars and the house. He won't get much for the cars, but if he sells the house, we can pay off the mortgage and his debts, and he can live decently on the rest. He can buy an apartment in Beverly Hills and be in good shape again. He hadn't been in years. But the house, Liz knew, was part of Coop, like an arm or a leg or an eye. It was his heart. It had been part of his identity for more than 40 years. Coop would rather have died than sell the cottage, and he wouldn't part with the cars, she was sure. The idea of Coop behind the wheel of anything but a Rolls or a Bentley was unthinkable. His image was part of who he was, all of who he was, in fact, and most people had no idea that he was in dire financial straits. They just thought he was casual about paying his bills. There had been a little problem with the IRS a few years before, and Liz had seen to it that all the proceeds from a movie he made in Europe had gone to them instantly. It had never happened again. That's all for part 8, chapter 1, The Cottage. Thank you for watching.